So today is like a Python demo class, right? So I hope you can see the screen there. Kanpistunda? I want somewhat response from you guys. Sai, Prashant, Sushmita. Screen is right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Fine. So let us start. Like, what are the concepts which you are going to learn in the Python full stack from the Krivi? Fine. So coming to the concepts which you are going to cover is like a front end and the back end technologies. First of all, we're going to get into the front end. We are having like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? So on this top, we are going to have the libraries like React JS, Angular. So in our course, we are going to see the React JS. Fine. Coming to deployment techniques, we are having like render and the version. Not only that, if the time permits, we are going to see the CI/CD pipelines also. And in this course, we are going to learn like you are going to create a real world like, projects like an AI chatbot and a e-commerce website and the data apps also. So let us get into the course structure. First of all, we are going to see the introduction to the programming language. Like most of the people are going to learn the programming languages, they're going to run the programming language with the substantive language, but they don't know what is the background story. Like for example, they might be using the Java, but they don't know what's the background story, how it is with the Java language is going to be understood by the machines, right? So we will be seeing this concept, like how the Java or the Python is interacting with the operating system, right? Because in the end of the day, the OS is going to run the code. Fine. In the programming fundamentals, as it's a programming language, not the scripting part. So we're going to see how the ALU and the scripts are going to be working with the operating system. And then we are going to get into the concept, the Python, from the basic to advanced. Then not only that, we are going to see the system design principles. Like most of the people are going to write the code, but they are going to write the code which is not like a robust or scalable. So we'll be using like a dry and the solid principles in our code, and we're going to learn these concepts so that it is going to be helping us to write the code in the clean manner. Fine. Coming to the database connectivity, we are going to use the SQL and also MongoDB, but we are going to use the MongoDB as a wrapper. And then we will use the MongoDB on the Python basis. But coming to the SQL, we will see how to write the SQL queries. And also, if the time permits, we're going to create a data warehouse with only the SQL part. Fine. And coming to the Git and GitHub, we know like Git and GitHub are used to version controlling, right? Like if you're going to work on a really big project, it is going to help us to make the versions of the project. Fine. But most of the students are going to like learn only the Git add, Git dot, Git commit, right? But we will see like how to revisit, how to work on the team. I will be inviting my 2 to 3 members of my team people to work on the spot too. Fine. So next we get into like what are the special methodologies which we are going to offer. And the first thing, we are going to do everything in the format of project based learning. For example, if you are going to learn a backend technology, then we are going to create a complete API, because the backend means it's like an API call, right? So we are going to create an end-to-end API in our project, which is going to like, for example, it might be you might be creating an open API API key. We are going to use it for the React JS as a chatbot, or else we are going to create an e-commerce website. We'll be seeing all these parts. Fine. I'm coming to the features. 1 second. Yeah. So today we are going to see these concepts as, because we are going to the Krivi IT is going to provide these concepts as a demo for all the students. Like what are the types of programming language? What is a compile based programming language? What is an interpreter? And what is a high level and what is a low level language? We are going to see all these concepts in the today's class. But coming to the next part, for this part, you need to subscribe to the Krivi IT part for it's like a 2 to 3 months of course. In this part, you are going to get all these concepts like what are the variables and the data types, flow, control flow, input, how to take the inputs, how to write the code, how to write the Python code, because Python is a dynamically typed language. We'll see what is the dynamically typed language also. As it is a dynamically typed language, we need to follow some structure for this part, or else it is going to be, of course, the code is going to be working fine, but in the deployment part or in the production part, it might not be that much good compared to Java or these parts. So we'll be seeing how to write the Python code in good manner. Fine. Coming to the data types, on these things we are going to cover in our second week. And for example, you might be like a fourth year students, or you're going to prepare for the interviews. Then I guess these pattern printing problems, array problems, subsequences, string matching, all these are going to be common for you to crack the first round with. So what we do in the Krivi IT ante, in the Saturday, Sunday time, or on the Friday, Saturday, we are going to take like a linear data structure classes. Apart from the non-linear part, we will be concentrating on the linear data structures, where you're going to learn about the arrays, stacks, queues, because these are the common questions for like up to around 10 LPA, right? So we are going to work on these questions. Not only that, we are also going to see the SQL, how to write the queries also in this Friday and Friday and Saturday classes. Fine. The next page, once again. So these are the Python basic ones, like how to write the Python fundamentals, string manipulations, character array, and the string operations, the list comprehension. Like everybody is going to write the code. For example, there's a term called as polyglot. So what is a polyglot? And a person can write the code in multiple languages. For example, you might be learning a CPP language, and you are going to use the same concept in Java with the syntax change. It is also going to be working fine. But why you need to use only the Python? What is the advantages of Python? We are going to see. The code, if you are going to write in the Python manner, this one is Pythonic base. We'll see how to write the code in the Python format. Right? And coming to the higher order functions, like this is a most important term which we are going to see in the JavaScript as well as in the Python. Because for the JavaScript also, we are having some really good trainers who are going to teach you about the JavaScript, like how the JavaScript has been evolved and what is the React.js library. Fine, we'll be seeing all these things also. And coming to the advanced techniques, like these are the concepts only present in the Python. That is like a generator and a decorator. We'll see what is a generator and also a decorator in this part, in this course. And coming to the software engineer principles, like that, just now we have been discussed, right? Because these are the concepts. If you are going to master these concepts, you are going to become a really good developer. It's not about only the Python. These are the common for all the languages, like all the SDEs. Fine. You will be seeing the solid principles. I hope you have been already heard about this word, the solid, right? You are going to learn like a single responsibility. Like only one class need to be isolated. The classes need to be isolated. There should not be any unwanted connections between the interfaces. We're going to see all these concepts. Coming to the dry principles, like this is the most common word in the functions format, right? We'll be seeing all this part also, right? And yeah, the main agenda of this slide is like writing the code clean, maintainable, and scalable, right? Coming to the, yeah, after this part, we are going to see the difference between the monolithic and the microservices. So what is a monolithic content? For the project we are going to deploy the front end, back end database. It is known as monolithic. And at a single server, like a single computer, you are going to serve front end, back end, and database. It is known as monolithic, right? So it was an architecture which was created in 1990s, which has been come to 2005. But currently, we are using microservices. So the term microservices, for example, if it is a website, we're going to have some services, right? Like authentication service, uh, like buying card service, authorization service. All these services are going to be present for certain products, right? Like for a certain website. Then what we are going to do in the microservice, we are going to deploy each service, like authentication. I'm going to deploy in separate server. So that what's the use of this part, whenever there is an error or any crash in that particular server, it is going to be only to that particular server. Fine. So that the remaining concept, like the remaining server services are not going to be disturbed with this part. I hope I'm making some sense, right? So with this, the production level applications are going to be much more faster, much more reliable. What is reliable? Even though in the bad conditions, you can trust the website or the application. It is not a reliable situation. Fine. Yeah. And in the sequel, we are going to see some ORMs and also the fundamentals of SQL, how to write the SQL queries. And if time permits, we'll be seeing how to create a data warehouse also. Yeah, coming to the Git and GitHub, like most of the people are going to use the Git and GitHub for the simple like Git add, Git commit, and Git push. But what we will do, I will get some team members to join our class for like 2 to 3 days. And what we'll do, we'll see real-time examples of how to fork the repository, how to clone the repository, how to contribute to the open source, and how to create the pull request. So that what's going to be happening whenever you are going to get into the MNCs or the companies, you are going to work as a cluster, right? And you are going to work as a 5 to 6 members of team. So if you're going to work as a 5 to 6 members of team, then the work is going to be evenly distributed to you guys. So what might be the work doing, the one person might be working on the authentication side, like login, logouts. One person might be working on the authorization purpose, like where the user need to see only this part of the data, the admin need to see this part of the data, admin can delete the data, right? And for example, if there is any field workers, they are going to get only the reading part of the data. So in this manner, the work is going to be distributed, right? So after the distribution of this work, again, end of the day, what we need to do, we need to merge the code, then only it is going to becoming an application. So we will be seeing how to fork the code and how to keep the pull request, how to conflict. For example, like you and your teammate also are working on the same part. Then what's going to be happening? And whenever you're going to combine the code, there might be a conflict. And what I want to say, and there is a file main.py. Okay, now in the both the computers there is a file main.py. Okay, now your friend in the seventh line wrote a print statement, and you have been wrote a if condition over there. Now there is a conflict over here. Then what you are going to do? And you are going to check, is the print really required at that particular line, or the if is really required. Based upon this part, you are going to match the code. Fine. So we are also going to see these concepts also. Yeah. Coming to the front end technologies, we are going to see like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And to say frank, the HTML5 and the CSS, we are going to see like a normal part because these are outdated in the society. Currently, we are using the frameworks of these concepts. For example, if you're going to come into the CSS, in the current generation, we are using Tailwind and Bootstrap. So I might know there may be some familiar terms like a Bootstrap and the Tailwind. Anyhow, we are going to see like a demo class on this part also, right? And coming to the JavaScript, uh, I guess you already know about the JavaScript, right? If you want to see any animations in your website or in your browser, you need a JavaScript. Whenever you're going to download any browser in your laptops, the JavaScript is already present in your laptop. Fine. So you're going to see like there are really good trainers on the JavaScript also. You will be seeing from the scratch. And this is the real part, the React JS, because if you're going to master the React JS in the current generation, we are having like a Next.js, which is a framework of React JS. So in the Next.js, you are going to use the entire, like it is going to perform the front end as well as back end part, and it's like a full stack application. The Next.js is so, but this Next.js is created on inside of React.js. You got it right? And the Next.js is like a subset. Then the Next.js or the React.js is a subset. Then Next.js is a superset of this part. Got it? So if you're going to really work on, like really train on this React.js, there are ample amount of roles like React.js developer, Merge stack, Python full stack also. We will be using the React.js for the front end part. Okay. So I hope you might be getting the concept like how much React.js as well as the fast APIs are needed for you. Yeah. Coming to the backend technologies. So we will be working on the Flask. Why we are going to work on the Flask? And for the first part, we are going to see the Flask for the monolithic part. And we have already seen about the monolithic and the microservices, right? So yeah, one second. So we are going to use a Flask for the monolithic part, and we are going to deploy the front end, back end database at a single server with the help of this Flask. Got it? Of course, we can also create microservices with the help of the Flask. But in our course, what we'll do, we will be creating a monolithic Flask web application, and these are some libraries of the Flask, like Cores, which is one of the important topic whenever you're going to work on two servers, Cores, migrations. Like we already know, the SQL databases are structured. And like what I meant to say, and for example, if I created a column like name varchar 225. So if I'm going to say like name varchar 225, in that particular column, I can only add the string values, right? I can add only the string values. But with the help of these migrations, what I can do I can change the data while running, and I can rechange the structure of the columns. I hope I'm making some sense, right? Like whenever we're instead of writing the entire SQL query, what we will be doing, with the help of the Python migration, the Flask migrations, we are simply going to upgrade the database or downgrade the database. We'll be seeing this part also. And coming to the SQL alchemy. So what is SQL alchemy? We know Python is an object-oriented language. So everything in the Python is an object. So if you want to write the any like unpart languages, like for example, if you want to write a Java or SQL in the Python, you're going to write the code in the format of a string. Fine. I hope I'm making some sense, right? Because we are going to write the Java code in the Python, it is going to throw us a syntax error, right? Fine. But what is SQL Alchemy is going to do one day? This SQL Alchemy is going to create the ORMs. And instead of writing the query, you are going to create an object. Try to understand. You are going to create an object to that particular class. Fine. If you're going to create this object, at the same time, the data is going to be added in the table also. Got it? Yeah. Coming to the bcrypt. The data, whenever you're going to, for example, we use this bcrypt in the format of while we are going to hash the passwords. Like in the database, we are not going to store the data or the important data as it is. If we are going to store the data as it is, there might be a problem of the hackers, right? So what we are going to do one day, we are going to make the passwords or any user IDs or important codes, we are going to hash them. So that if you're going to hash it, the user is not going to get the part, right? It is going to be like really like 32 numbers of string with like it's going to have the string, the sorry, numbers, alphabets, all these things. So it's not going to be easy for them to debug the hashed part. Got it? And coming to the WTF, it is a library for the forms. We'll see what is the forms also because I can't explain at the current level at which you are at. Coming to the RESTful. So if you want to create the APIs, the application programming interface, you are going to use this Flask RESTful module. Fine. Then coming to the fast API, we are going to see the major part that is asynchronous and await. And here we are going to write the Python code in asynchronous manner and parallel execution. Basically, whenever you are going to talk about the Python, Python is an interpreted language, it is a script path language. So it is going to start from the first line, it is going to be ending in the last line. But there is a module known as asynchronous in the Python. With the help of this asynchronous part, we can write the asynchronous functions so that the code is going to be running simultaneously. Got it? We'll be seeing this part also. And coming to the data apps, as in the current market we are going to see like really huge amount of AI tools, right? We are going to have like machine learning concepts, deep learning concepts, generative AI concepts, agentic AI. So in this part, the Python itself has created an application known as, sorry, the framework known as Streamlit. So with the help of this Streamlit, you can create the interfaces in the Python itself. So that why the Streamlit has been introduced and most of the ML works or most of the AI works are going to be done in the Python. Got it? Most of the AI works are going to be done in the Python because Python is like a vast community. There are like 1 lakh of libraries. Got it? That's the reason what they are the Python or like Python community has created, and they have created a Streamlit. So in this, what we will do on time, we'll create a CNN model. We'll see how to create a CNN model. Basically, I hope you are having some idea about the CNN, right? Idea on the CNN, Anto? Any idea about the CNN? Anyone? No one? Okay. So what is CNN under? It is a deep learning model, deep learning in a neural network by which we are going to predict, try to understand, we are going to predict on images, videos, on this part of the data. And a multi-dimensional data we are going to work on with the help of CNNs. Okay. We'll be seeing like how to create a CNN neural network and how to train it. And then we'll be trying to deploy it with the help of the stream. Got it? Yeah. And the end part, this is actually not the part of the full stack. This concept comes under the DevOps, but we have been recently added this concept, how to deploy the code into the PaaS. So any idea about the PaaS? PaaS? Idea on the? Okay, fine. So PaaS and it's like a platform as service. Okay, it's like a platform as service. In this part, what you're going to do, you're going to simply push your code into that particular platform. The entire DevOps work is going to be done by that platform. I hope I'm making some sense, right? And instead of keeping like learning the DevOps roles, this platform is going to provide you all the things, and automatically it is going to predict. Okay, it is a Python file, so I need to install the Python dependencies. Okay, it is a React.js, so I need to download the JavaScript. I hope I'm making some sense, right? Fine. And how to monitor and the logging also we're going to see. Yeah, this is the concepts which you are going to learn once again. Actually, we thought of doing the to-do application, but as the most of the people has asked us, like the to-do is really easy for us. So what we will be doing, and we will be creating a chatbot, an AI chatbot. Fine, we are going to do like three projects. Three projects. One is like AI chatbot, and one is an e-commerce application. Why we are going to work on the e-commerce application? And it is a place where you are going to learn about the authentications, authorizations, how to store the data, how to keep the sessions, how to keep the access tokens, refresh tokens. Fine, got it. So e-commerce is a mandatory one, but instead of to-do applications, we will be creating an AI chatbot and also the CNN model. So these are the three projects which we are going to do in the last part of the course. Like it might be after the 2 months. Okay. Fine. So once again, yeah. Now, why to choose Krivi? First of all, the first point that is that most of the students are in their BTech fourth years, and some might be like international students who are seeking for the like they are seeking for the jobs. So the first agenda is for any developer, it is problem solving. So in the Krivi IT, we are going to help you how to write the code, how to understand the problem, how to solve the problem with the help of this programming. Fine. Second thing, we are going to create the projects. As you are in the fourth years, or you are going to work on, like you are a fresher, you are going to seek for the jobs, and you are having, not having like good projects. We are making really good projects. Like for example, if you are going to apply for any full stack roles, you are going to have an e-commerce website in your resume. For any AI roles, as you are already learned the Python, if you are going to apply for any AI roles, we are going to have a CNN model in your resume. Fine. And if you want to and if you want to know about the API calls, which comes under the software part, you are having the AI chatbot also, where you're going to work on the API parts more majorly. Okay. My doubts now? Any doubts regarding the course? I can see like 12, like 10 people. Yeah. Any doubts? Sai? No? Okay. Sai, what about you? Malati? Prashant?
No,
Okay.
no.
Archana? I can't say all the names, Gada. If there are any doubts, you can ask me. Fine. Okay, na? Fine. Then we'll be seeing a small topic. Okay, na? Fine. Is it okay? Start చేద్దామా? Guys, start చేద్దామా?
Yes, yes, you can
Yeah,
start.
fine. So, ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం fast గా ఉంటా because I need to cover all the concepts. Like, fine. But in this 30 minutes, let us understand what is this part. Fine, one second. So, before getting into this part, done. So I hope you can see the whiteboard, right? Whiteboard కనిపిస్తుందా? Guys, respond.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
done, done. So try to understand this one. So end of the day, you are writing some code. Okay, na? You assume that you have become a really good programmer and you are writing some code. And where you are going to run the code, try to be interactive, guys. Try to be interactive. Okay, na? You have wrote some 5 to 10 lines of the code, and where that code is going to be running in your laptop, right? అవునా కదా? In your laptop, or it might be your PC. Am I right? Respond.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So as it is going to be running in your laptop, so what is a laptop? It is a collection of ఏముంటాయి ల్యాప్టాప్ లోపల ఏముంటాయి?
Zeros and ones.
Okay, fine. Okay, but before getting to that part, we are going to have the motherboard కదా, అవునా? Motherboard, RAM. I hope most of the people are from the IT industry కదా, ఇవన్నీ ఐడియా ఉండుంటాయి కదా.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, RAM, ఇంకేముంటుంది, ప్రాసెసర్, అవునా? So all these things are hardware components. Okay, na? Hardware. So if your people are from the EC department, you might be knowing about this concept somewhat clearly, right? So as these are hardware components, so what does these language? What are these? Sorry, my bad. So these machines understands which language? A language or the method?
Binary
Yeah,
language.
it's like a binary language, right? Or not? I guess most of the people have been skipped the DLD subject, right? In your BTEX because you are not answering this concept. Binary అంటే ఏంటిది? 0 or 1s. So the machine understands only 0 or 1s. Got it? So machine understands only 0 or 1s. For example, if I'm going to say like 0 1 1 0 1 1 0, yeah, can anyone debug this part? Can anyone? No kada, no one can, because it is a machine language, we don't understand. But what we can understand, we can understand a for, right? We can understand while, because these are the English terms, right? Anna, we were learning English from our childhood, right? అవునా కదా? ఇంగ్లీష్ వచ్చు కదా అందరికి, రాదా? వచ్చు కదా? Fine, done. So okay, now there is a problem. What's the problem ante? Humans understand this part and machines understand which part? They understand these zeros and ones. So what we want to do, what we need to do, ఏం చేయాలి ఇక్కడ? What is the problem? ఇప్పుడు హ్యూమన్స్ కి అయితే హ్యూమన్స్ does not understand 0 1 0 1 1, and machines also not going to understand for while all this part. Then what we need, for example, you are a Telugu person and there is a Hindi person, okay na? And you might not know about the Hindi. Then what you are going to do? ఏం చేస్తారు అప్పుడు మీరు?
Translate.
We need a translator. Excellent. It's like money, right? It's Pratik, fine.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's Pratik. So we need a translator. Okay, now we need a translator. So what does the translator need to do? It need to convert this human readable language because it is going to be read by the humans, right? So we need a translator which need to convert this human readable language to which language? Machine language. Okay, it's not machine learning, it is machine language. Got it? So we need a translator. Okay, Yada? Any doubts in this part? No?
No.
Fine. So coming to this translator, again, this translator is of two types. Okay, na? Any idea about this translator?
Interpreter,
Interpreter,
compiler.
compiler. Good, really good. Okay, na? So let us understand what is this compiler and interpreter. Okay, na? So I'm writing two things over here. One is known as compiling time. I will be explaining this part, no need to worry. Second one is runtime, which we are also going to call as execution time runtime. Okay, na? Fine. Coming to the interpreter, we are having only runtime. Okay. So what we'll do on yeah. So let us assume that this is a file. Okay, this is a file. Okay, this is some file, and I'm writing some code in this part. Let us assume this lines as a code. Okay, no? This lines as a code. Fine. So this lines as a code. So what does a compiler is going to do ante? First time what it is going to do ante? It is going to check whether the syntax is correct or not. So what is syntax ante? Rules. Rules to write a code in a particular language. Fine. To write a code in particular language, it is known as syntax. Okay, na? So what does a compiler is going to do ante? In the compilation time, it is going to check for the rules. Okay, na? Whether the person has wrote the syntax in the correct order or not. For example, in the Telugu paper, like there is an exam for you guys. There's an exam for you, and there is an exam for you. Okay, and it is a Telugu exam. If you are going to write any English, if you are going to write the English, is it the exam valid for? Is it the exam valid? Valid? Huh? Simple question అడుగుతున్నా. తెలుగు ఎగ్జామ్ లో ఇంగ్లీష్ రాస్తే వ్యాలిడ్ అవుతుందా?
No, sir.
No, right? It's not. In the same manner, if I'm going to write the Python code in the Java file, is it going to be valid?
No.
No, kada.
No.
Right? So what is this compilation time is going to do ante? It is going to check for the syntax. Fine. Okay కదా? Done. సో ఇప్పుడు నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటిదంటే మన టీచర్స్ ఉంటారు బేసిక్ గా ఏంది లైక్ వాళ్ళు మార్క్స్ తీసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతారు లైక్ 2 5 7 10 దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యాడ్ ద మార్క్స్ అండ్ ద లాస్ట్ పార్ట్ వాట్ దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యాడ్ ద థింగ్ రైట్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ మేనర్ ఇఫ్ ఐమ్ గోయింగ్ టు లుక్ అబౌట్ ద సింటాక్స్ అండ్ సిమాంటిక్స్ దెన్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద సిమాంటిక్ అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ just try to understand this manner. If I'm going to say like int a is equals to py, so I hope most of the people know C language కదా? Yeah, C or Cha? Is there any person who does not know about C or Java? ఉంటే హ్యాండ్స్ రేజ్ చేయండి మీకోసం ఇంకోలా చెప్తా. Fine. I guess all of you might be knowing about the C and Java. So as if I'm going to select int a is equals to py, is it valid?
No.
It's not valid. Why it's not valid, Pratik? Any guesses?
Int is a data type, integer. So we should use numbers only.
It's not the answer. It's not the answer. Yeah, you might be thinking the correct way, but the which you have been delivered, it's not the correct one. Anyone?
You can't assign characters to an integer data type
How it is an integer?
because when
Aishika, right? Yeah.
yes, sir.
Okay. And is it a character? Are you sure?
Wait, no. Py is a string.
Okay.
We can't assign that to an integer.
Fine. Okay. I will be explaining this part. Okay. No need to worry. So if I'm going to say like int a is equals to py, what's going to be happening? This a variable is there, right? So this a variable is going to be taking only the integer values. As Aishika said, it's correct. But what we need to say, as if I'm going to say like int a is equal int a, this a is going to become a container for which part? Integers, not numbers. It is not a number. Integer and the non-decimal values. Try to understand. We need to have the what we need to have the clarity. We need to have the clarity. Fine. And one more thing. Is it a primitive or non-primitive? Anyone about this primitive or non-primitive? Winner Ipero, primitive or non-primitive?
Listen, but no idea about.
Okay. So what is about this primitive and non-primitive one? If I'm going to say like int a is equals to 5, in this a, if the 5 value directly going to be present in the a, and for example, if a is a container and 5 is directly present in this part, then it is known as primitive. It is known as primitive. Fine. For example, okay. But if I'm going to say like int, let's make like integer a is equals to new integer 10. So if I'm going to say in this manner, it's a part of a Java code, no need to worry. Let us understand the concept. Here, I'm going to store the address. What I'm going to store over here? Address. We'll be seeing what is the address also. But if someone asking like what is the primitive and non-primitive, just say in this manner. Got it? Primitive ante we're going to store the actual data. Got done? Clear అయిపోయిందా? అందుకే there is a concept known as pointers in CPP and C. గుర్తుందా? Archana, Sanjana. Any idea about the pointers? Yeah,
Yes,
okay, no.
yes.
Yeah, fine. Done. So concept clear కదా? So yeah. So if I'm going to do this part, it is also an error, right? It is known as semantic error, right? So in the compilation time, what does the compiler is going to do? It is going to check for the syntax errors and semantic errors. So if these two are not present, then how much work has been completed over here? Try to understand. Just try to understand. So it has gone through the entire file, and there is no syntax and semantic error. So as it is going to be checking all the code like line by line, 80% of the work is going to be completed over here, right? Oh no? 80% of the work is going to be completed over here. So I'm going to write like 80% of the task is going to be completed in the compilation time. In which one? In the compiler. Fine. So after the compilation time, what I'm doing, I'm simply running the file. So if I'm going to run the file, what is the remaining part? The 80% has been completed in the compilation time. What is the remaining part? 100 లో 20, right? అంతే కదా 80% ఇక్కడ అయిపోయింది. Remaining is 20 కదా. Try to understand. 80% is already completed in the compilation because we are checking the syntax and semantics, which are the major concerns for any programming language. For any language, these two are the major concerns. So if I'm going to do in this manner, the 20% is only going to be completed over here. Fine. Then let's get into the interpreter. Interpreter. So what does an interpreter is going to do? First, it is going to get into the first line. It is going to compile. Compile and ఏంటిది ఇక్కడ? What is meant by compile over here? ఏంటిది? What is over here? Checking the syntax and semantics. Okay, na? It is going to get into the first line. It is going to check. Okay, this line is perfect. So what it is going to do? It is going to print it, and it is going to be executing this part. అర్థమైందా? I hope I'm making some sense, right? Again, after running the first line, it is going to get into the second line. It is going to check for the syntax and semantics. Okay, these two are good. Then it is going to run that part. And in the third line, if I got an error, there is a syntax error. The program is going to be stopped at this line. And it means that it has been run successfully the first and second line. అర్థమైందా? I hope I'm clear, right? Okay, na మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెప్పండి concept. Any doubts in this part? Ashika? Any doubt? Fine, na? మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెప్పనా? Done. Okay, so I want you guys to be answering this part. So as it is going to be done 100% of over here, right? So which one is faster? Which one is fast?
Interpreter.
Why do you think that it is like interpreter? Why do you think?
Because you're checking for each line and then
Okay. Yeah, like try to understand this point. So in the language is like sorry, my bad. So it is a runtime over here, right? Avuna?
sure.
Okay, and it is also runtime over here, right? And I need to map these two things. Now which one?
Okay. Compiler.
Compiler. And just understand this one. So what I'm going to do I wrote a file like int a is equals to 5, int b is equals to 10, and I'm printing it. I'm saying like a plus b. Okay, na? So let us assume it is a compiling language code. So first what I'm doing first I'm doing the compiling. So after doing the compiling, I got it as like, okay, the code is good. The code is good. So I can run this code n number of times after it has been compiled successfully.
Yes, sir.
Avuna? And the 80% of the task is already completed. And I'm not going to touch this 80% of the code. And what I'm simply doing, I'm simply running the code. And I'm doing only this 20%, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But coming to this part, every time you run, it is going to do the syntax check first. Syntax, okay, syntax is good. Next, semantics is good. Then it is going to print the answer. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So now here only the 20%, but every time it is going to be done for the 100%. Which one is faster?
The 20% compiler.
That compiler, right? Okay, now? Fine. So if you're going to see this part, we know that Python is an interpreter language, right? Then why we are reading Python? You might be wondering, right? Because we need to run the compiling code that is like a Java or C. Then why we are reading the Python? We will be seeing in our class, fine? We will be seeing that part. Don't need to worry. Okay, Gada? So we have been completed like we need a translator which need to be converting this human readable language to the machine language. Okay, and in this translator we are having two types. Okay, so any doubts in this part? One doubts in here? Respond, guys. Respond.
No, sir.
All right. I can see only like Ashika and like Pratika answering. Like, what about the remaining people? Yeah, fine. Okay. So my question is, try to understand. So we need to know the terms, right? We need to know the terms. The human readable language is also known as, any idea? High level language. Human readable languages are known as high level language. Okay, na? And machine readable languages are known as, any idea? Guess.
Low level language.
Low level language. Good. Low level language. Okay. So if someone asks you about like what is a Python, then what we need to say? Because Python is going to be understood by humans. So it is a, what it is? High level or low level?
Low level.
Low level. How is this low level, right? Because we are understanding this Language kada, we are understanding Python. Prashant, right? Yeah, Prashant.
Yes, yes,
My question is like, you can understand the Python code, right?
yes.
But you can't understand zeros or ones. So what it is? Python code is a high level language. Okay. So the next question is like, as it is a high level language, machines understands only the low level language. Right? So how you are converting this part?
Through translators.
Oh, translate. Good. Okay, translate. So what translator does the Python uses? Is it a compiler or an interpreter? Doubt on that? Okay. What we'll do one day, we will see with an example. Okay, na? We'll do what we'll do one day, we'll see with an example. One second. Yeah. We'll see with an example. Okay. Even though if you don't know about the Python, okay, na, even though if you are not going to know about the Python or the SQL, what we'll do one day, sorry, Java, we'll see like what is the difference between these two. Okay, na? Demo.java. Just give me a second. We'll see with an example. Fine. Okay, I'm going to select slash demo. What I'm doing over here, and then I'm going to select int a is equals to 5. Okay, now if you're going to see in this part, you can see like I have been created a variable like int a is equals to 5. And what I'm doing over here, I'm trying to print the value. What I'm doing over here, I'm trying to print the value. Okay. So what I'm doing over here, just try to see this part. I'm going to do like Java C. So first I need to compile this one. So I'm going to select Java C. File name is demo.java. So whenever I'm going to select Java C demo.java, it is going to compile. Okay. Okay, fine. We are not getting any error over here. Okay, fine. Then what I'm going to do, like I'm going to select Java demo. And you can see what is the error over here. It is saying like, what it is saying over here. Once again. One second. Yeah, now it has activated once. You can see it is saying what it is saying, like we cannot convert a string to integer. You can see this part, right? Kanistunna? Okay.
Yes.
So it is a like what I have done. First I have been compiled the code. Next I have been run the code. Kada. So for example, if I'm going to make it as like a 10 over here. So I can keep the 10, right? For an integer variable, I can keep the 10. So I'm going to select Java C demo.java. And okay, actually the file is not been saved. It was a previous error. It was a previous error. Now I have to save the file. Fine. Now let us run this once again. And you can see there is no error, right? There is no error. And some file has been created. We'll see what is this file later. And now I'm going to select Java demo.py. And first I have been compiled the code. Then once I've been compiled the code, you can see there is a file named as demo.class. We'll see what is this demo.class. Okay, no need to worry. Fine. And I'm going to run like Java demo. And you can see I got some answer. So here, how many steps have been worked over here? How many steps over here? Any steps is second?
2 steps.
2 steps, right? First I have been compiled. Second I have been run the code. Once again, what I will do on that, I'm going to make it as a string. I'm going to make it as a string. And let us see this one. And now you can see, I simply compile the code. I simply compile the code. And you can see in the compilation itself, it is saying an error, right? Did I run the code? And code run chesana, just compilation. In the compilation part, I will be saying like there is a semantic error, right? There is a semantic error in this part. And in the compilation from this part, I can say like the compiler. So Java is going to be working on the compiler part, right? Chappo.
Yes,
Can
yes.
I? Fine. Okay. Coming to the Python, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to select a is equals to 5. In the Python, we are not going to have like I can keep any data. A is equals to 5, B is equals to 10, print A, and next time I'm going to say print A plus some pi value. We'll see this one. Okay, I'm going to run this code. Same thing. If you want to run the Python code, there is only one line because Python is an interpreted language, so it is going to be having only the execution time. So I'm going to select Python. What is the file name over here? It is app, right? App.py. Fine. You can see, first of all, you can see the output as 5 kada. Kanipistunda? There is an output 5. Can you see this part?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Until the code has been successfully run up to the 3 lines kada? Because there is no syntactical error. But here you can see like a plus 5. We can't add a string value with an integer value in Python. So you can see what it is doing. Unsupported operand type plus integer and string. So from this part, what I can say, I have been only wrote a single command, single script over here. And it is having only execution time. Antena? Am I correct? Regarding the Python. This is the only command I have been wrote in the terminal, right? Maatladandi. So from this we can say it is an interpreted language, right? Chapocha? Speak up, guys. Fine. Okay. So okay, the Python is going to be work on the interpreter. Fine. Okay. The next question is it static or dynamic? What is the next one? Static or dynamic? We'll see what is static or dynamic. Okay. Fine. In the languages like C or Java, what we are doing? If you want to take any variable, I want to store 20 in a variable. Then what is the syntax? I want to store 20 in a variable. What is the syntax?
Int A is equal to 20.
Int A is equals to 20. Okay. So Pratik and
Semicolon.
yeah, semicolon. Ashika, right? Yeah. So can I in this file, can I do in this manner like int A is equals to pi? In the next line, can I?
No, sir.
Why can't? Because okay, I? Sure.
I don't think so.
Okay. Then what about you, Pratik? Archana, Sai, Malati, what about you guys? What do you think?
No, sir.
No, we can't, right? Okay.
Yes.
Pakka, fine. Okay. So actually we can't because as I have been declared, int A is equals to 20 throughout this file. Try to understand. Throughout this file, I can keep only integer variables to this part. Got it? But coming to the dynamically typed languages, in the first time I'm going to say like A is equals to 10. The next time I'm going to do like 10.5. It is valid. Try to understand. It is valid. A is equals to 5. It is also valid. Then what's the difference over here? If I'm going to declare any variables, first thing I need to provide what I need to provide? I need to provide the characteristics of the data. If I want to store the 20, which is a number, which is an integer, then what I'm doing? I'm going to do like int A is equals to 20. But coming to the Python, what I'm doing, coming to basically the dynamic languages, simply A is equals to 10. And the language itself is going to understand, okay, this is a 10, which is a integer. So I'm going to convert this A into the integer class. Got it? Ardham the difference? Static ki dynamic ki?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Done. So this is about static and dynamic. So my question is, coming to the C Java, are they dynamic or static?
Static.
Static. Okay. Then what about the Python? What about the Python?
Dynamic.
Python is dynamic. And you can see, for example, if I'm going to do like A is equals to 5, B is equals to 10.6. Okay. What I will do, I'm going to create a one more print like A is equals to 5, print A. B is equals to 10.6, print A. Okay. Oh, sorry, print A. Let's make it as A. Okay. And let's work on this part. I'm going to say that first, let me save the file. Python demo dot, I guess it's app, right? Yeah, it's app. Sorry, my bad. App.py. You can see at the first line, A has been initialized with the 5 value. That's the reason. What is the output I got in this print part? What is the output?
5.
5. In the third line, what I have done? A is equals to 10.6. So then the fourth line, what is the output I got?
1.6.
The same variable, I have been reassigned it, right? Color.
Yes, yes.
Look into this part. Look into this part. 10 over here. Like int A is equals to 10. In the next line, what I'm doing? 10.5, 10.7. You can already see the VS Code intelligence is saying like what it is saying. One second. Yeah. What it is saying over it? Mismatch. Mismatch. Fine. Okay, kada? E concept kuda? Static, dynamic.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then there is one more. Yeah. Okay, guys. That's it. I guess these are the concepts which we are going to get in the demo part. So, any doubts regarding this demo? Any doubts? Money, Sai?
No.
No, okay. Most probably the course is going to be starting from the Monday. So if you want to join, you can speak to the respective people by whom you have been came to this course, like to came for this demo part. Okay. I hope I can see like all the level people are going to join. Hopefully. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah. What's up?
sir, how are we gonna get updates about class and everything?
Yeah, like sooner we're going to create a group over there, but for the up to the as it is a demo class, speak to your respective people. After the joining, we are going to create a group for this part. Fine.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
And not only that, I personally, what we do until I guess you have already learned about the hacker rank lead code, right? Idea on the winner appear hacker rank lead code.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. So okay, no worries. Like what we do until we will try to solve those problems because those are the problems which you are going to be coming in your interviews. Okay, we'll be seeing all these things also from the Monday. Okay. Yeah, guys. There's one more class at the 8 o'clock, so we need to close this session. So fine, Gada. There is no doubt, right? ఉంటే ఇప్పుడు అడిగండి అర్చన సాయి మణి రిషిత్
Yeah,
అసలు
no,
మీకు
sir.
ఉన్నోగా ఫైన్ యా గైస్ థ్యాంక్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ నైస్ డే
Thank you, sir.